Let's get straight into the resource. So as I mentioned, this is Victorian popular culture. It's a digital primary source database, which is made up of primary source material from 1779 right through to 1930, and it focusing on European and American popular culture, as you can probably guess from the title. This resource is largely split up into 4 themes, of which the material all corresponds to one of these. So the 4 themes that we've identified are spiritualism and magic, circus, as well as music hall and theatre, and then the birth of cinema. So we have fantastic material on the birth of silent cinema and that becoming a popular medium in itself. So I'm just going to click into the introduction tab at the top here. So you're probably wondering a bit about what actual material is in this resource. Well, just to reel off just a few sort of document types. I'm actually going to click into the Documents tab here. Click View All Documents. So we can see here our full documents list. Now I'm just going to click into the document type here. So there's a wealth of material that is made up of all different types of sources, including posters, whether that's magic or circus or music hall. There's written exposés around magic and circus. Huge runs of rare printed books that we've sourced from archives, never before digitised. There's pamphlets, playbills, scripts, as well as some more multimedia sources such as music hall recordings, early film reels, and we've also filmed some optical illusions such as flick books, etc. And I'll be showing you that a little bit later, but just to emphasise that the primary source material on this database is really vast. And so that's a little bit about the document types. Where do we source them from? Well, you can see all of the libraries and archives that we source the material from. Just there. And I suppose this is probably a good point to say, we were in our main documents list at the moment. If you ever just want to browse a certain type of document, or you're looking for material just from a certain library, you can refine your list by each of these. So we could look for, diaries just from the British Library, for example. Clear those filters. Or any combination. We can use those filters. We can jump to a letter to find maybe a certain document that you're looking for, or we can jump to certain pages. Within the documents list itself, you can also you can sort your documents list by title, by date, sort it by document type, or either of these. So that's a little bit about the documents list itself. I'm actually going to head back to the home page now. So we've seen just the documents list in itself. I'm actually going to run a search now. So you can see in the top right hand corner here, basic search bar. So let's run a search for someone you may have heard of, Houdini. So as you can see, the search results page is identical just to the full documents list page. We can see here it's returned 212 documents. If that's too much for me and I maybe want to refine my search a little bit more, I can filter by document type, by the library or archive source, or the module or theme that it relates to. But I'm okay for now, so I'm just going to scroll down here. Just give you an idea of some of the types of material we can see. So we can see here we've got a mix of posters, photographs, rare printed books. And again, if we were looking for photographs in particular, we could just refine that by photograph. Apply that filter. And there we go. So this is what I was looking for. It's actually an archive, a Houdini archive that we sourced from the Harry Ransom Center in Austin, University of Texas, Austin. And it's just a fantastic wealth of mainly visual material about Harry Houdini and never before digitized. So, these images are from the archives themselves and hopefully provide a more rounded perspective of, an incredibly key character in British and American popular culture at the time. So what we can see here is the document details page. So we've clicked in from our search results, and this is basically our page where we can overview the document. We can scroll between pages to get to certain images or certain pages that we're looking for. So we can quickly scroll using the thumbnail viewer. If we find an image, if this is a document that we think is going to be useful to our research for either ourselves or a class we're teaching, we do have a personal repository in all of our resources. So this is called My Archive. All you do is click that. I'm not actually logged in right now, so I won't click it, but click that, and then that document will be saved to your personal repository for as long as you want it. And as I mentioned, that's a great classroom tool, but if maybe you're more in touch with using Moodle or Blackboard or any VLEs and you want to have material embedded in, I don't know, a course document on your Blackboard site, you can download entire documents or specific ranges to PDF for your personal consumption or for use in the classroom. So that's just something to think about. So I'm just going to scroll through a few more of these images. I just want to click into this one up here. Before I click into that, I should probably just mention you can see here all of the metadata that comes with this document. Or if we would just say we were in a document that was made up of written and visual materials, we do have this visual highlights search result tab, which is going to allow us to quickly flip through visual material if it's embedded within more text-heavy pages, for example. So I'm just going to click into this image up here. This is a really nice image of a poster, actually, of Houdini that I thought I would show you. It's great quality. It's quite something. So just a bit of functionality about this page. We saw earlier that we could save entire documents to our personal repository. We do have a personal repository just for individual pages as well, and that's called Lightbox. It's all in the same place under the My Archive button at the top right hand corner here. So we can just save individual pages or just download that individual image if it's something that takes our fancy. So I'm actually going to use this button just here, just to toggle full screen. Let's zoom in and get a better look at this. It's a great poster. So if we're looking at a certain image and we've sort of forgotten about the context or the metadata around this, all we have to do is come out of full screen, head back to the document details page, and then we can regain some context about the page we were just looking at, about the document that it came from. So that is just one Harry Houdini image that I wanted to show you. I'm actually going to run another search now, just in the top right hand corner here, basic search bar, for Barnum and Bailey. Click go. Do apologise if I sound a bit croaky. Seem to have a little bit of a cold at the moment. So we've run a search for Barnum and Bailey, and I wanted to show you this because it's a combination. They combine shows actually in the early 20th and mid 20th century, and there were two circuses that came together and produced these, spectacle shows that we actually have a lot of material on. So we have a lot of playbills and advertising posters that give a really in-depth feel and track the combination of these two circuses and the sort of cultural effect they had on Britain and America at the time. So I'm just going to scroll down here. I'm just going to click into this playbill here. Just a reminder that if anyone has any questions, you think of anything, please feel free to put it in the chat window. And either myself or my colleague, we can answer that for you once we get towards the end. Or if there's anything that you'd like me to run a search for, maybe there's something that you think might be in the database that you would quite like to see, we can run that search for you. Or failing that, we can talk after the webinar about a free trial, and you can explore the material for yourself. So again, we've clicked in from our search results page into our document details page. I'm just going to use the thumbnail at the top here, just to show you the front page of this playbill of this circus performance. I'm just going to toggle the full screen straight away, so we can get a really good look at this. There we are. So this is just one of hundreds, if not thousands, of really interesting playbills, posters, scripts, protest posters sometimes, that give a feel for British, European, and American popular culture at the time. And this obviously comes under, circus, which is one of the big themes of this resource. So we just ran a basic search there. I'm actually going to click into the advanced search button at the top here. So if you're running searches and they're just returning too much generalized material, what you can do is run an advanced search, and you can enter multiple values here, as many as you like. Choose connectives, stem your values, use word proximity. You can also restrict the date, filter by any of these, which we've seen before, and just look for images. Look for sort of material that's just in the image gallery or features in our interactive resources. So that is that. I'm actually going to run a search for expose and magic. And I think that's okay. I mean, if we see here, we can see the searches that I've already ran in this session, and we can also see some of the popular searches that our in-house editorial team have put together. So let's run a search for that. Okay, now we can see the first result here is an issue of the Sphinx, a monthly magazine for magicians and illusionists. This is just one example of pop culture and periodicals around mysticism, around circus, magic, there's even some written material around bringing silent film to the mass audience, and how is it going to be received. And so there's a wealth of written material in the early 20th and late 19th century about bringing popular culture to and providing popular culture, providing entertainment and magic in this case for as many people as possible. So this is just one run of periodicals called the Sphinx. I really like this book, so I'm just going to open this. This is a book from 1877, which I came across a few weeks ago, which is fantastic, and we won't be able to read too much of it at the moment, but I just want to show you a few of the pages. So I'm actually just going to click into the thumbnails tab here. So if we're in our document viewer, but we want to get to another image really quickly, just use the thumbnail tab here, and we can see all of the pages from that document instantly. So we can open this chapter here, chapter 1. So one thing that I should probably mention here is you can see the word magic is highlighted. So we ran an advanced search expose and magic, and as you can see, all of the printed material in this resource is full text searchable. Material that is either visual or handwritten is really thoroughly indexed, so it's hopefully as discoverable as possible, but all of the printed material is full text searchable. So I'm just going to leave this here so we can have a read of the start of the reputable act of magic. So that's just one example. If we move back a page, actually, we can take a look at the contents. But there are hundreds of these rare printed books, sourced from different archives, particularly the Harry Ransom Centre, some from the National Archives, and they're extremely rare and provide a fascinating survey of certain topics and certain trends and issues in the mid to late 19th and early 20th century. So you can see here just some of the fantastic tricks and spells in this book. I think the Wizard's Omelette is my favourite. So that's that. I just wanted to show you that just to give you an idea of some of the printed material in this resource. So we've seen 3 documents now. I just want to click into the Explore tab here, as well as a database of primary source material. We do also have a really wide range of interactive tools in this resource, which provide both a jumping off platform and a springboard for people to start their research, but it also provides context and maybe a way into primary source databases that maybe for lower level undergraduate students or upper level high school students, or anyone who hasn't really had that much experience using primary source databases. So I'm just going to click into the Optical Entertainment's exhibition here. So I mentioned earlier that we'd filmed a lot of optical toys. Well, this is where you'll find them. This is perhaps more of a contextual tool than a way into the material, but it's fantastic all the same. So I just wanted to show you this, and I'll also show you some early film footage as well, just before we finish. So you can see one scope there. Nice little flick book. But I wanted to show you this one. So I'm just going to press play here. So there we have it. That is that is a flick book in itself, and we've filmed a few of these in a few different optical toys that are really nice pieces of ephemera that we've sourced from these archives, and we felt that they provided context, and they provided scope. Sorry about the pun. For just surrounding the main documents list itself. So that's just one example of some of the optical entertainments. We can see here some of the other contextual tools, some of the venues, some information about the venues, which has been put together by our academic editorial board, as well as some academic essays from leading scholars in the area, and those essays do link to documents within the resource itself. So maybe your students are starting off, you getting some ideas around 19th century popular culture. Those essays are going to be a great starting point because they link to all the documents within them. We can see here some popular searches, an interactive chronology to provide context, as well as some biographies of key figures. So I'm just going to click into the Visual Sources tab at the top here. I'm conscious of time. So all the visual material that is in the main documents list, we've actually pulled out and copied over to a separate image gallery as well. So if you just quickly want to get some visual materials for your Blackboard site, or even for LibGuides or something like that, the image gallery is going to be a great place for that. You can download images to PDF, and they're all there. You can refine by theme, refine by type, refine by era. So that's a really handy little tool if you're looking for visual material. We can see here again the optical toys that we've just seen. There's also an object gallery viewer. But what I really want to show you is some of this early cinema footage. So it's one of the key themes of this resource is the emergence of film as a popular medium. So if there's anything you'd like to watch, please put it in the chat window. I'm just going to show you a couple of things that I really like. Quite different. So what this is George V's wife was Princess Victoria, and this is basically a film of her getting stuck in traffic in central London, which I quite like. Well, central London now, as it was the city limit in 1917, but it's a really rare and fantastic look at just London street life 100 years ago, really. So I'm just going to view this in the high resolution player. We just open that. So this is Princess Victoria, 1917, basically moving from a carriage to her car to get home quicker, I presume. This is silent, by the way. There's no sound. So there we are. That's just a really nice snapshot of London street life, really, in 1917. So we're going to head back to the documents list. A Jewel in the Snow. That's a great choice. Okay, we're going to go with Jennifer's suggestion, and let's have a look at that. If I can find it. I'm struggling to find A Jewel in the Snow. I can't quite find it, actually. Um, okay, if we come across it in a second, I will show it. Um, I suppose what I should show really is some Charlie Chaplin material that we have in this resource. There we are, Charlie on the Ocean. So these are all sourced from the British film, the BFI archive in London. And there we have it. So we can see here that's, as you can see from the metadata, newsreel coverage of Charlie Chaplin's trip to Europe. So that is it. I'm conscious we're running 5 minutes over. That's it. That's a really quick look at just a bit of functionality and just a really small speck of the material that's in this primary source database. So if you don't have access to it already, I thoroughly encourage you to request a free trial and see whether it's useful for either your own personal research or it's something that you can incorporate into a class you're teaching next semester. Please feel free to request a free trial either here in the chat window or on the website as I showed you at the start, or you can. My email address will be in the follow-up email you'll be receiving tomorrow, which will have the recording on it. So you can get hold of me with that email address, no problem at all. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and that's it from me. Please look out for other Adam Matthew primary source webinars in the future. We have at least one a month, so hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.